By the end of January, a lot of people are quietly wondering why their goals are already slipping away. Not out loud, not on social media, certainly, just internally. You know you want to change. You've thought it through. You even want to follow through. But when it's time to act, the plan gets overridden by an impulse for relief. That's the moment that most people don't have language for. The effort gate in the brain is stuck. Suddenly, success feels farther away than comfort. And the most confusing part, it's like the system switched tracks. You were already moving before you even noticed that you pivoted. This video is brought to you by my HarperCollins published book, Mind Over Explicit Matter. If you're ready to quit porn and reclaim your life mentally and physically, go over to drtrishleigh.com/book. I'm Dr. Trish Leigh. I'm going to tell you how the effort gate gets stuck and, of course, what to do to open it. Let's dive in. Okay, so imagine this. You're driving on a highway at 75 miles per hour. Everything is smooth. Everything's aligned. You know exactly where you're going. And of course, the destination matters, right? And then suddenly, the car drops into third gear. Now you're going 35 miles per hour, but the engine is screaming at you. The RPMs, they're high. The noise is loud. The vibration, intense. Now, at this point in your journey, the destination doesn't matter anymore because the effort gate is stuck. That is when your brain is no longer allocating energy toward where you are headed. All of your attention shifts instead to one thing and one thing only. How do I fix the car? That's the hijack that's happening in your brain. That's what it feels like when that effort gate gets stuck. It's shutdown. Relief takes over. You're not thinking about where you're headed anymore. You're thinking about stopping the strain. That's what an overloaded nervous system does. When internal stimulation gets too high, the brain abandons long-term goals and it reroutes everything toward immediate relief. Okay, so tell me if this sounds familiar. From the outside, you still function, basically. You show up. You handle essential responsibilities. You keep things moving. Maybe not at your full potential, but moving. But internally, something's lingering. You feel muted. Your drive, it feels inconsistent. Your focus, it takes more effort than it should. Your desire doesn't want to respond in a way that it used to. This isn't because you're weak. This is because the effort gate in your brain is stuck. That creates a very specific kind of frustration because you remember a version of yourself that didn't struggle like this. And quietly, you wonder, what changed? You also wonder, can it ever feel the same again? Okay, let's talk about a client of mine. We'll call him David. He was a functioning man. He showed up to work. He paid his bills. He handled his responsibilities. From the outside, nothing looked obviously wrong, but internally, everything felt delayed. His brain had been miswired. He postponed decisions. He put off tasks that he cared about, that he knew mattered, and he still couldn't move toward them. It's not indecision. That is what the effort gate being stuck feels like. Even though the intention is very clear, you still can't move toward it. David's nervous system was in constant overdrive, always alert, always braced, always managing pressure. So even simple things required effort because the effort gate was stuck. Everything cost more neurologically than it should. Unfortunately, The same pattern showed up in his relationship. Connecting with his partner didn't feel natural or energizing anymore. It felt like another demand, another place he had to perform instead of respond or experience. When the effort gate is stuck, even intimacy can feel like effort instead of true desire. Desire didn't rise, arousal didn't engage, and that scared him, even though he rarely said it out loud. David could do well for a little while. He'd have a good stretch, clear intentions, better routines, more presence. But then something would trigger him. Something would trigger his system. Stress, fatigue, emotional pressure, and then you know what happened. His nervous system would reach for relief. That's what happens when the effort gate is stuck. The brain chooses what's easiest, not what matters. That's when procrastination crept back in. He delayed conversations. He avoided connection. He withdrew, not because he didn't care, but because isolation felt quieter than effort, and relief felt safer than engagement. David thought this meant he lacked discipline, that something was wrong with him, but nothing was broken. The effort gate was stuck, not broken, stuck. His nervous system had simply learned one rule: relief first, everything else later. And anything learned by the nervous system is miswired when it doesn't serve you. It can be rewired. Change didn't happen when David tried harder. It happened when he stopped treating this like a motivation problem and started treating it like a nervous system brain pattern. Because when the nervous system is overloaded, it doesn't move toward what matters. It moves toward what feels safest. Most men turn this inward. They tell themselves they're lazy, undisciplined, weak. So they push harder, more rules, more willpower, more pressure. That doesn't restore drive. It leads to more nervous system fatigue. And of course, it keeps the effort gate stuck. Effort originates in the nervous system, in the anterior cingulate cortex. The nervous system decides, can I engage? Can I tolerate effort? Can I stay present under uncertainty? When that system is overloaded, the effort gate gets stuck in the closed position. The nervous system prioritizes protection, not growth, not pursuit, not desire. That's when effort feels heavy, because the effort gate isn't opening reliably, and responsiveness feels unreliable. Imagine a fire alarm going off in your house. Even if there's no fire, this has happened to me before. Could you relax? Could you focus? You'd probably feel like you can't do anything until the fire alarm is quiet. An overloaded nervous system is like a fire alarm stuck in the on position. And while that alarm is blaring, the effort gate stays stuck shut. This is the moment most men get stuck. They feel the hijack, but they don't know what's happening inside their own brain. They know something's wrong, but they don't know why the effort gate is stuck. This is where brain mapping changes everything. A brain map doesn't tell you what should be happening. It shows you what is happening. It shows whether your nervous system is stuck in overdrive, whether your reward system is suppressed, and whether your brain is trapped in a relief-seeking loop. It shows why the effort gate is stuck. And then, of course, what needs to change for it to open again. Not as a diagnosis, as powerful data. This way you can stop guessing and you can stop blaming yourself. If you want to see what's actually happening in your brain, You can learn more about brain mapping with me at drtrishleigh.com. When you can see your own brain, shame disappears and change becomes precise. If any part of this video described your experience, just put it into the comments. That makes sense. You don't have to explain anything, but I read all the comments and I know exactly what that means if you relate to this. Also, if you haven't watched the last video in this series, I want you to watch that next. It's called Why Your Nervous System is Blocking Your Goals and How to Restore Neuroplasticity. That video explains the experience. This video explains the mechanism. Okay, my friend, remember, control your brain or it will control you. Regulate first, because when you regulate first, the effort gate opens and effort will follow.